Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, today we're going on, well, quite a journey, not just across the map, but way back in time, nearly 4,000 years.
That's right.
We're heading to ancient Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, birthplace of cities, writing, all that foundational stuff.
Pretty much where it all started, yeah.
And from there, we dig up something truly, truly monumental. The Epic of Gilgamesh.
Oh, Gilgamesh.
Now look, this isn't just some old dusty story. It's widely considered the world's oldest surviving epic poem, written on clay tablets that have lasted all this time.
It's incredible, really. Cuneiform script.
Right. And our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the wisdom from it. Not just the plot, but those nuggets of insight about being human that still matter for you today.
And what's just fascinating, I think, is how a story that ancient can still hit so close to home. It's asking the big questions right from the start, isn't it? Like, what's it all mean? What does it mean to be human?
Absolutely. And it kicks off with, a really complex main character, Gilgamesh himself, king of Uruk. And get this, he's described as 2/3 divine, 1/3 human. That specific mix, 2/3 God. What's the significance there?
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely crucial. That 2/3 God part, that gives him, incredible strength, power, maybe even a bit of divine favor.
Right.
But the 1/3 human bit, well, that's where the trouble starts, you could say. It's his mortality, his pride, his capacity for, suffering and learning. It makes him somehow relatable. Even with all that power, sets up this immediate tension.
And you see those flaws straight away. The epic doesn't pull punches. He's mighty, sure, but also incredibly arrogant, a tyrant, really. So much so that his own people in Uruk, they were terrified. They actually prayed to the gods to step in, asking for help from their own king. That's pretty bad.
It really is. And it immediately brings up this core question about power, doesn't it? Unchecked power. How did these early societies think about leadership? Here's this almost god king, but he's ruled by his human ego.
Yep.
So the story, right away, is exploring what happens when power isn't balanced with wisdom or empathy or accountability. It's a warning, even back then.
So the gods listen, but their solution isn't smiting Gilgamesh.
No, not directly.
They create a counterpoint, a companion, Enkidu, this wild man living out in nature with the animals, as strong as Gilgamesh, but different, pure maybe.
Untamed, certainly.
Yeah.
A force of nature.
And when they finally meet, wow, it's one of the great scenes. Gilgamesh, the city king, Enkidu, the wild man, they clash.
That serious showdown. Wrestling right into Uruk.
Yeah, this epic struggle. But then, here's the twist, and it's where things get really interesting. What starts as this massive rivalry, it turns into this incredibly deep friendship, like one of the most famous friendships in all literature.
They see something in each other, and equal.
Exactly. That rivalry just melts away into this unbreakable bond.
And you have to think, for Gilgamesh, this is, it's transformative. Completely changes him. Before Enkidu, it was all about power for himself. Now, he learns loyalty, love, real brotherhood for the first time. It shifts his whole focus, from just raw power to connection, strength through connection. It suggests companionship can change even the proudest heart.
And together they become this legendary duo. They go on these amazing adventures. You hear about them going to the cedar forest, facing down the monster Humbaba.
The guardian,
Yeah.
appointed by the gods.
Yeah.
Fierce.
And later they take down the bull of heaven sent by the goddess Ishtar because, Gilgamesh slighted her. These aren't just fights. They show their unity, their courage, the joy they found together.
That shared experience, the joy and the danger, it's key. It's not just that they win, it's how they do it together, something the old Gilgamesh never understood. This is really the peak for him, in a way. Happiness, power, but shared. So different from before.
Well, like in life, happiness doesn't always last. This amazing friendship, it leads to tragedy. The gods decide someone has to pay for killing Humbaba and the bull of heaven.
And they choose Enkidu.
Yeah. Enkidu falls sick and he dies. And Gilgamesh is just shattered, completely broken. This mighty king, 2/3 god, is floored by grief. It just strips everything away.
It's devastating.
You picture him, right?
Yeah.
This powerful figure facing the same raw, awful grief anyone feels. He holds on to Enkidu's body for days, can't accept it, and then he asks that question, maybe the most famous line, must all men die? Must I too become like clay? It's just so human.
And that's the core of it, isn't it? Even this first literary hero, part god, can't escape loss. Enkidu's death isn't just sad, it's the trigger, the thing that forces Gilgamesh finally, to face his own mortality.
Despite being part god.
Right. It throws him into this deep existential crisis. What's the point? It makes him profoundly human, maybe for the first time through pain.
And that fear, that terror of becoming like clay, it sends him on this massive quest, not for glory this time, but for eternal life, immortality.
A desperate journey.
Totally. Across deserts, mountains, facing monsters like scorpion men crossing the waters of death. It's perilous. He's driven by fear and grief.
He meets figures along the way too, right? Like Siduri.
Yeah, Siduri the alewife. She basically tells him, look, enjoy life now. Eat, drink, be merry. That's what humans do. Forget this quest. But he can't. He presses on.
He has to find the answer.
Until he reaches Utnapishtim, the faraway, the only human ever granted immortality. And his story, it sounds incredibly familiar, doesn't it? A great flood survivor.
It's very much like the Noah story, yes.
Yeah.
A fascinating parallel showing these shared ancient mythic threads.
So Gilgamesh finally meets the immortal man, hoping for the secret. What does Utnapishtim tell him?
Well, he gives him some tough love, basically. He shares the flood story, explains immortality was a unique gift to him, not something that could just be handed out.
Ouch.
And then he tests Gilgamesh. Just stay awake for 6 days and 7 nights. Simple, right? But Gilgamesh, exhausted and heartbroken, fails immediately, falls asleep.
Proving he can't even conquer sleep, let alone death.
Exactly. It drives the point home. Then Utnapishtim mentions a plant, right, at the bottom of the ocean. That restores youth.
Yeah. A last glimmer of hope. Gilgamesh actually finds it. But then, on his way back...
The serpent steals it, just snatches it away while he's bathing.
Oh, the irony.
Yeah.
So after all that, the journey, the near misses, what's the final takeaway for him? His quest failed.
It failed in its original goal, yes. He learns, the hard way, that immortality is impossible for him. Even being part god doesn't change that fundamental human limit. Death comes for everyone.
So what's the lesson then? Just despair?
No, not at all. And this is the crucial shift. It raises the question, is it about living forever or living meaningfully? The epic lands firmly on meaningfulness.
Okay.
Gilgamesh realizes his true legacy isn't escaping death. It's in what he does with his life, how he rules the city walls he builds for Uruk, which were apparently magnificent, his contribution to his people. He accepts his mortality.
And that changes him?
Completely. He returns to Uruk, not as the arrogant tyrant, but as a wise king. Humbled, ready to embrace his human life, his human purpose, knowing it won't last forever.
It's amazing. Nearly 4,000 years old, and it still resonates so powerfully. So let's try and crystallize some lessons for you listening today. What can we pull from Gilgamesh?
Well, first, obviously, mortality. It connects us all. Accepting it, not fearing it, is where wisdom starts. Gilgamesh's fight against death led him to value life more.
Right. And second, friendship. Real connection. It's transformative. It gives life meaning beyond just power or stuff. Enkidu changed Gilgamesh completely. Human connection is vital.
Definitely.
And third, I guess, is that search for meaning itself. We find it in how we live, what we build, who we love. Legacy isn't about living forever. It's about what you leave behind, the impact.
And if you step back, Gilgamesh really is like a foundational story for so much Western and even global thought. It mirrors the human condition, asking, what does it mean to be human? Its influence is huge. You see echoes in the Bible, like we mentioned with the flood.
Yeah, scholars debate that connection a lot.
And in Greek stories, literature, philosophy, these questions are ancient, but there still are questions.
So, for you listening, what's the takeaway from Gilgamesh? Life is short, yeah, fragile even, but that makes it precious. Friendship is sacred. And maybe the best way to face our own mortality isn't panic, but courage. Courage to live well, connect deeply, build something worthwhile.
Which leads to maybe a final thought to leave you with. Gilgamesh learned legacy beats immortality. So what kind of legacy, what kind of impact are you hoping to create? What are the walls of Uruk you're building in your own life, big or small?
That's a great question to ponder. Until next time, live with purpose, love deeply, and leave behind a legacy worth remembering.